A common mistake that can turn eggs from a health booster into a potential risk for seniors is skipping healthier cooking methods such as boiling or poaching. Many older adults prefer fried or heavily scrambled eggs cooked with butter, oil, or cream, which add unnecessary fat and calories. While eggs themselves are naturally low in calories and packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals, the way they are prepared has a huge impact on their health value. Frying, especially in saturated fats or reused oils, can introduce harmful compounds that increase inflammation and raise cholesterol levels, problems that are especially concerning for elderly individuals with heart disease or high blood pressure. Boiling and poaching, on the other hand, are among the healthiest ways to prepare eggs. They require little to no added fat, which keeps the calorie count low while preserving the natural nutrients. This makes them ideal for seniors who often have slower metabolisms and lower calorie requirements but still need nutrient-dense foods to maintain strength and energy. For example, a hard-boiled egg provides protein, B vitamins, and essential minerals without extra fats that could strain the cardiovascular system. Skipping these methods also means missing out on the digestive benefits they offer. Many seniors struggle with acid reflux, indigestion, or sluggish digestion. Fried and oily foods can worsen these conditions, while boiled or poached eggs are much gentler on the stomach. They provide a lighter, more easily digestible source of protein, making them perfect for breakfast or as a snack. Additionally, healthier cooking methods reduce the risk of bacterial contamination. Fully boiling or poaching eggs until both the yolk and white are firm ensures harmful bacteria like salmonella are destroyed, which is especially important for seniors with weaker immune defenses. In contrast, fried eggs cooked sunny side up or soft scrambled eggs that remain runny may still harbor bacteria, posing unnecessary risks. Incorporating boiled or poached eggs into the diet also encourages healthier pairings. Seniors are more likely to eat these eggs with vegetables, whole grains, or salads, rather than greasy sides like bacon or sausage. This helps create a more balanced meal that supports heart, kidney, and digestive health. By overlooking these simple, healthier cooking methods, seniors may unintentionally increase the risks associated with egg consumption. Choosing boiling or poaching allows them to enjoy all the benefits of eggs, protein, vitamins, and minerals, without the hidden dangers that come from excess fats, calories, or undercooking. Reaching life after 80 presents challenges that cannot always be solved by family, friends, or outside support. Social circles shrink, health weakens, mobility declines, and loneliness can creep in despite the best efforts of loved ones. In such circumstances, what often makes the greatest difference is not just external help, but the inner strength seniors cultivate. Resilience, a sense of purpose, and the ability to create companionship for themselves become essential tools for navigating the emotional and physical trials of late life. Resilience does not mean ignoring pain or pretending life is easy, it means adapting to difficulties with acceptance and courage. Seniors who embrace change, rather than resist it, often cope better with loss and solitude. This mindset allows them to focus on what they can still do instead of what they have lost. For example, a senior who can no longer travel long distances may still find joy in nurturing a garden, writing letters, or attending local community gatherings. By shifting perspective, they protect themselves from despair and maintain a sense of control. Equally important is having a purpose. After careers end, children become independent, and friends pass away, many older adults struggle with the question of why am I still here? Without an answer, loneliness feels heavier. Those who discover new or renewed purposes, whether it is mentoring younger generations, engaging in creative arts, volunteering, or pursuing spiritual practices, find a reason to wake up with energy and hope. Purpose gives structure to the day and meaning to the years, transforming survival into fulfillment. Self-created companionship also plays a critical role. While relying on family is comforting, it may not always be enough. Seniors who take proactive steps to connect with peers in community centers, book clubs, or hobby groups often build supportive friendships that ease loneliness. Even companionship with pets, nature, or faith can provide a steady source of comfort and connection. The act of seeking companionship, rather than waiting for it, empowers seniors to reduce isolation on their own terms. Ultimately, aging past 80 demands an inner toolkit just as much as external support. Resilience shields the spirit from despair, purpose fuels the heart with meaning, and self-created companionship softens the edges of solitude. Together, they allow seniors not only to endure the brutal realities of aging but also to continue living with dignity, strength, and peace. After the age of 80, many seniors quietly face emotional and cognitive struggles that often go unnoticed by those around them. Depression, for instance, is one of the most common yet underdiagnosed conditions in older adults. Unlike younger people, who may openly express sadness or seek help, seniors often mask their pain behind silence. They may dismiss their feelings as a normal part of aging or avoid burdening their families with complaints. As a result, the signs of depression, fatigue, lack of interest in activities, poor appetite, or disturbed sleep, are easily overlooked, mistaken for ordinary aging rather than a serious mental health concern. Loneliness and isolation play a large role in this hidden suffering. Losing a spouse, close friends, or even the comfort of a daily routine can create a profound sense of emptiness. For many, the silence of an empty home is not peaceful but suffocating, amplifying feelings of worthlessness and despair. This emotional pain is often endured quietly, since older generations were raised in times when mental health was stigmatized, leaving them less likely to discuss or seek treatment for depression. Alongside emotional struggles, cognitive decline is another silent battle many seniors face. Memory lapses, difficulty concentrating, or confusion can start subtly but grow over time. The fear of losing one's independence or being labeled with dementia may cause seniors to hide their struggles, avoiding conversations that might expose their difficulties. This secrecy, however, can make the problem worse, as early interventions that could slow cognitive decline are missed. These silent battles also reinforce each other. Depression can worsen memory and thinking skills, while cognitive decline can deepen feelings of frustration and hopelessness. Together, they create a cycle that traps many seniors in isolation, cutting them off from activities and connections that could otherwise improve their well-being. The tragedy is that these struggles often remain invisible to families and caregivers until they have reached an advanced stage. A senior may appear physically fine but be carrying heavy emotional and mental burdens inside. Recognizing subtle changes in mood, behavior, or memory is crucial for providing timely support. Gentle conversations, regular engagement, and encouraging professional help can break the silence. Depression and mental decline are not inevitable parts of aging, but without attention, they can quietly erode the joy and dignity of later life. Seniors deserve not just longer lives, but lives filled with emotional comfort and mental clarity. After the age of 80, one of the biggest challenges seniors face is the gradual loss of physical mobility. Even if the mind remains sharp, the body often struggles to keep pace. Arthritis, osteoporosis, weakened muscles, balance problems, or chronic illnesses like diabetes and heart disease can make walking, climbing stairs, or standing for long periods extremely difficult. For many, even leaving the house requires effort, planning, and assistance. This limitation directly affects their ability to take part in social activities that once brought them joy, contributing heavily to loneliness and isolation. Mobility issues don't just affect the body, they impact confidence as well. Seniors may fear falling in public, struggling in front of others, or becoming an inconvenience during group activities. The thought of navigating crowded events, unfamiliar environments, or even simple gatherings can cause anxiety, leading them to decline invitations. Over time, this avoidance becomes a habit, shrinking their social life until they are confined mostly to the walls of their home. The less they participate, the more isolated they feel, and the cycle of loneliness deepens. Transportation is another major barrier tied to mobility. Driving becomes unsafe or impossible for many seniors, meaning they must depend on others for rides to community centers, religious gatherings, or friends' homes. Public transportation, while available, may not be senior-friendly, with steps, long waits, or complicated systems adding to the difficulty. Without reliable ways to get around, opportunities for social engagement quickly fade, leaving seniors cut off from the world outside. Physical limitations also affect participation in hobbies or routines that once offered companionship. A senior who loved gardening with friends, walking in the park, or attending weekly club meetings may find these activities too strenuous. Even attending family events can become exhausting. Watching life continue around them while being unable to join in fully often leads to feelings of frustration, sadness, and isolation. Reduced mobility is more than a health challenge, it is a social barrier that robs seniors of connection, purpose, and joy. However, it does not have to mean complete withdrawal. With supportive tools like walkers, mobility scooters, accessible transportation, and community programs designed for older adults, seniors can still engage in meaningful activities. Encouragement and understanding from loved ones also play a crucial role. While mobility may decline, finding adaptive ways to stay socially active can help preserve both dignity and companionship in later years. In today's world, technology has become the main bridge for communication. Video calls, instant messaging, social media, and online platforms are how families, especially younger generations, stay connected. For seniors over 80, however, this shift often creates a painful gap. Many grew up in a world without computers or smartphones, and while some adapt with practice, others find it overwhelming, confusing, or even intimidating. The result is a widening digital divide that leaves many seniors feeling excluded from the daily lives of their children and grandchildren. This gap becomes especially noticeable when family interactions move online. Younger relatives may share photos, updates, and milestones on social media rather than through phone calls or face-to-face visits. Seniors who struggle with using these platforms miss out on these moments, feeling disconnected from their loved ones' lives. Even something as simple as not being able to open an email attachment or join a video call can trigger frustration and sadness. They may feel left behind in a fast-moving world, as though the pace of change has outstripped their ability to keep up. For some, attempts to learn new technology are met with impatience or lack of support from younger family members. A grandparent asking how to send a message or turn on a video camera may be brushed off as too slow or forgetful, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. Over time, many give up trying to engage with technology altogether, retreating instead into isolation. The absence of regular contact can make loneliness sharper, especially when they see peers or relatives who are more tech-savvy maintaining frequent family connections. Beyond communication, technology now influences access to essential services, online banking, medical appointments, shopping, and even community programs often require digital literacy. Seniors unfamiliar with these tools may feel increasingly dependent on others, which ties back to feelings of being a burden. The lack of confidence in using technology not only isolates them socially but also limits their independence in practical, everyday matters. The technology gap, then, is not just about gadgets, it is about connection, belonging, and dignity. Seniors who cannot bridge this divide may feel invisible in a world that has gone digital. Addressing this challenge requires patience, guidance, and empathy from families and communities. Simple steps, like offering one-on-one teaching, creating senior-friendly devices, or maintaining traditional forms of contact such as handwritten letters and in-person visits, can make an enormous difference. With the right support, technology can become a tool for inclusion rather than another wall of isolation. One of the harshest realities seniors face after the age of 80 is the increasing dependence on others for even the simplest daily tasks. Aging naturally brings physical limitations, reduced strength, slower reflexes, poor eyesight, and joint problems that make movement difficult. Activities once taken for granted, such as cooking, bathing, dressing, or managing household chores, can suddenly become overwhelming or even dangerous. A slippery bathroom floor, a heavy pot on the stove, or stairs without support rails can turn into serious hazards. As a result, seniors often rely on family members, caregivers, or neighbors to help them maintain their safety and dignity. This dependence, however, is rarely easy to accept. Many older adults who have spent their entire lives working, raising families, and being independent find it emotionally painful to ask for assistance. The shift from being a provider to being a dependent creates a sense of vulnerability, and for some, even embarrassment. They may feel that their reliance places a burden on loved ones, leading to guilt and hesitation in voicing their needs. Instead of asking for help, some seniors silently endure struggles, which can worsen their health or increase their risk of accidents. Practical limitations often deepen the feeling of dependence. For example, driving becomes unsafe for many after a certain age, cutting off one of the most important tools for independence. Without transportation, seniors may need others to take them to doctor's appointments, grocery stores, or social gatherings. This reliance can make them feel trapped within their own homes, contributing to both isolation and frustration. Even basic tasks like managing medications or paying bills may require assistance, especially if memory lapses become more frequent. Beyond physical needs, there is also the emotional toll of depending on others. Seniors may fear that their children or relatives will grow impatient or resentful of their needs, making them withdraw further. For those without close family nearby, dependence on hired caregivers can feel impersonal, leaving them yearning for genuine companionship along with support. The reality is that dependence is an inevitable part of aging, but how it is handled makes all the difference. Accepting help with grace and finding ways to maintain dignity, through small acts of self-sufficiency or adapting the home for easier living, can ease the emotional burden. While dependence cannot always be avoided, it can be reframed as a natural stage of life where shared responsibility strengthens bonds rather than weakens them. Loneliness after the age of 80 is not just a passing emotional state, it has real and measurable effects on health. Researchers and doctors now recognize social isolation as a serious risk factor, comparable to smoking, obesity, or physical inactivity. When seniors spend long stretches of time without meaningful human interaction, their bodies and minds begin to suffer in subtle but powerful ways. The stress of isolation raises cortisol levels, which can weaken the immune system and leave the body more vulnerable to infections, delayed healing, and chronic illnesses. This means a lonely senior is more likely to fall ill and less likely to recover quickly. Heart health is one of the first areas to be affected. Studies have shown that isolated individuals face a higher risk of high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. The lack of companionship means fewer opportunities for laughter, touch, or emotional support, all of which help regulate stress and promote cardiovascular health. Without this buffer, the constant weight of loneliness adds strain on the heart. Seniors may not always connect their feelings of emptiness with physical symptoms, but the two are closely intertwined. Cognitive health also declines in the absence of social connection. Engaging conversations, shared activities, and mental stimulation from interacting with others keep the brain active. Without them, memory fades faster, and the risk of dementia or Alzheimer's disease increases. Seniors who feel isolated are often less motivated to keep their minds sharp through reading, games, or hobbies, accelerating mental decline. This creates a dangerous cycle. Loneliness harms the brain, which in turn makes social engagement even harder. Mental health is equally at risk. Persistent loneliness is strongly linked to depression, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. When left unchecked, these emotional struggles can manifest in physical ways, such as sleep problems, lack of appetite, or even worsening chronic pain. For someone over 80, these issues can make daily life more difficult, sometimes leading to hospitalization or dependency on medication. The reality is that isolation is not harmless, it quietly erodes the strength of the body and mind. Recognizing the link between loneliness and health risks is essential for seniors and their families. Proactive measures, whether it's joining social programs, encouraging intergenerational interactions, or seeking professional support, can make a powerful difference. Loneliness may start in the heart, but its impact quickly spreads to every part of the body. One of the most difficult realities seniors face after the age of 80 is the painful shrinking of their social circles. For decades, many people build their lives around family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors, sharing experiences, celebrations, and struggles together. However, as the years pass, these familiar faces slowly begin to disappear. Some move away to be closer to their own families, others become homebound due to illness, and many sadly pass away. By the time someone reaches 80, it is not uncommon to look around and realize that only a handful of friends remain from earlier stages of life. This loss is not just about numbers, it carries a deep emotional weight, as each person who goes leaves behind memories, shared laughter, and bonds that can never be replaced. The shrinking circle also brings about a unique type of loneliness, one that younger people often cannot fully understand. Unlike temporary loneliness, which can be eased by meeting new people or staying socially active, the loneliness of advanced age is tied to irreplaceable losses. Lifelong companions, childhood friends, or even siblings represent decades of shared history, and when they are gone, there is often a sense that no new relationship can fill the same void. This can leave seniors feeling as though they are living in a world that is slowly emptying, with fewer people who truly understand their life's journey. Adding to this challenge, physical limitations may prevent seniors from actively seeking new friendships. Health issues, reduced mobility, or lack of transportation make it harder to attend social gatherings, community events, or even visit old friends. As a result, their already shrinking circle becomes even smaller. Many seniors also find it difficult to adapt to forming new bonds in late life, as trust and companionship take years to build. Instead, they quietly retreat into isolation, sometimes without realizing how deeply it is affecting their mental and emotional well-being. Ultimately, the shrinking of social circles after 80 is one of the harshest truths of aging. It is not only a reminder of mortality but also a daily struggle with solitude. Recognizing this reality early and taking proactive steps, such as joining community groups, engaging in senior activities, or nurturing connections with younger generations, can help soften the impact. Still, the loss of lifelong companions remains one of the most profound contributors to loneliness in later life.